You're in the water loop. Water loop, water loop, water loop.
Welcome to Waterloop. This is Travis, joined by Amy Slack from Surfers Against Sewage in the United Kingdom. Amy, glad to have you on here for this conversation.
Thanks, Travis. Nice to be here with you, all the way from the other side of the pond.
That's right. So you all are one of the 10 finalists in the solution search. Congratulations on that. It's awesome to be among that group of 10 incredible solutions out there. Could you kind of give a 1-minute summary of your solution?
Yeah, cool. Yeah, no, thanks very much for having us on, and we're so super excited to be part of the 10 finalists. So thanks very much for shortlisting us, I guess. So we run with Surfers Against Sewage. We're based in Cornwall, at the far southwest tip of the UK, and we run the Safer Seas service, which is our solution. It's the UK's only real-time water quality information service, and it provides swimmers, surfers, kayakers, parents of small kids, with the information that they need to make informed decisions about the safety of entering the water, essentially. So it's a mobile phone app. It covers 370 beaches and a few rivers across the UK, providing notifications directly to water users when there's been a sewage discharge or an increased risk of pollution at their local or favourite beach. So the app also allows people to take direct action to call on water companies here in the UK to stop discharges of sewage into the rivers and the ocean, and call on government to take action to improve water quality. So that's our solution.
There you go. Fantastic. I'd love to hear a little bit more about the problem that you're trying to address. You've mentioned sewage and water quality. What's the problem?
Yeah, so raw sewage and agricultural pollution actually are big problems in the UK, in our rivers and the ocean. And essentially it's putting water users at risk of contracting really harmful diseases, so gastroenteritis, ear, nose and throat infections, and viruses such as E. coli. And of course it's damaging our natural world and ecosystems as well. So in 2020, last year, the European Centre for Environment and Human Health, abbreviated to ECHH, found that in the UK swimmers were getting just as sick now as they were in the 1990s, which is pretty bad. And in fact, the UK ranks just 25th out of 30 European countries for bathing water quality. And actually 34% of our bathing waters in the UK actually require some improvement to be classified as excellent in terms of bathing water classification standards. And of course, this year, and last year with the global health pandemic, we've seen increasing value placed on our blue spaces for both mental and physical health and well-being. And most water users are actually really unaware of the risks that they face when they enter the water due to the pollution that's pumped into them on a daily basis. So it's really critical that legislation and investment from water companies is put in place, and whilst these incidents continue, that we're actually given the information as to when those incidents are happening, to give us those informed decisions and protect us from becoming sick.
Yeah. I'd love to hear more about the solution. You mentioned this app, basically. Talk more about the solution that you all have developed.
Yeah, so the Safer Seas service is essentially a mobile phone app, although we do have a sort of light touch version on our website as well for those who don't have mobile phones. But essentially we wanted to provide information to water users to check water quality at nearby beaches or at their favourite locations, and allow people to receive information in real time, so they get those warnings as and when they occur. So basically, our solution allows water users to be informed when bathing waters are safe or not safe, and allow them to change their behaviour accordingly, and ultimately stay safe when they use the water. And then in addition, we wanted people to be able to take sort of direct action to improve water quality as well. So take the problem into their own hands and create change. So in the app, we've incorporated actions that they can take within the solution, and we've incorporated the ability for users to email their local politicians when there's incidents of reports, so pollution reports, and ask them to take make progress on supporting legislation and action to improve water quality. And then the last thing that we've done is we really wanted people to tell us when they did become sick from entering the sea, so we can kind of keep track of that and use that for our own sort of campaigning and political advocacy work as well. So within the app, we've incorporated the ability for people to submit health reports to us, so we can keep a log of when people are becoming sick and where they're becoming sick, and that sort of helps us with the work that we're doing at a national level.
Oh, sure. Yeah. So you have this problem of pollution. You built this app to provide information and get people engaged. How do you get people to use it? How do you create that kind of behavior change to get people to use the app, to learn about the water, to report issues, to let you know if they're sick?
Yeah, so essentially what we're doing is ultimately what we're doing is letting water users know when water is polluted. And we change the context in which people make those choices. So making them aware that there's sewage or pollution in the water, and their behaviour then changes the default option that they take. So rather than going to a location where there is pollution, they've got that information and they can change their behaviour accordingly to go somewhere where it's safe. So you can see where there's local beaches that actually don't have water pollution instances in place. So you can still, what we want people to do is enjoy the blue world, blue environment, in a safe and secure way, and this allows people to do that. So the app is designed simply just to sort of streamline complex decisions and information, and really focus users on the key information that affects their choices. So the app essentially sends pop-up notifications on their phone to let people know when there's been a sort of sewage discharge or a pollution warning, and that's a really accessible piece of information that's useful. And then in the marketing of the Safer Sea service, we appeal to kind of people's emotional angle based on kind of like fear as well, fear and anger. So we want to kind of make people angry about the problem that they're facing, and join us in creating the real change through emailing their local parliamentarian. So that's essentially what we're trying to do.
Sure. So what impact have you all seen from launching this app and getting people more informed and educated and active? What's been the real impact?
Yeah, right. So we've had since we sort of launched the rebrand of the service back in sort of 2019, we've now got about 31,000 users in the UK, and we've issued almost 900,000 notifications through the service to users. So that's when people subscribe to the service, and they have a list of favorite locations saved in the app, and then every time that a location in their favorites list receives a warning, then they'll get pinged a notification. So that the reach of behavior change within that solution is quite incredible. And then we've changed, hopefully we've changed people's behavior and allowed them to stay safe when they're using the water. And then in addition to that, since we launched the ability for people to email their MPs, we've had over 3,000 emails sent to almost 100 members of parliament in the UK to demand better water quality, and that's really driven the issue up the political agenda here in the UK. So the government have formed off the back of this solution and our sort of campaigning work that we've been doing. We've seen the government set up a storm overflow task force specifically to address the issue, which is made up of representatives from the water company and government, as well as environmental NGOs such as us, to really look at the problem and how we address it. And we've seen water companies come out with commitments to provide that information in real time all year round. We didn't have that necessarily before this year. So now we get all of this information all throughout the year, which is of course we use the water throughout the year, not just in the nice warm summer months. And we had government commitments just a few weeks ago. We've had government commitments to put in, proper plans and targets to actually address the problem at source. And then last year we had 153 health reports submitted to us, which has been a great start to kind of building up that evidence base. And all that's reported in our our annual water quality report, which really kind of drives, all of this information is reported and made public, and really drives change, calls out water companies where they're, having really poor pollution events, etc. So it's really driving a lot of change. It's really pushed the water quality agenda right up the public and the political spectrum, which is great.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, Amy, thank you for all this information and talking about what you're doing there. Congratulations again on being one of the 10 finalists. I think it's an incredible group, so a real honor to be in there. And good luck in the voting. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Travis. Thanks for all your time.
Waterloop, waterloop, waterloop.